Today I fucked up by drinking 3 cups of prune juice and coffee. PT2 gross warning. Part 1 for context. First off, I think I figured out why I was constipated. I ate way too many chia seeds, and with hours of research, a quick Google search, eating too many chia seeds without enough water can cause constipation. I really need to follow the recommended amount. I thought the aftermath from last night was over, but it was far from it. I woke up early from the best sleep I've had in a while. My ass didn't hurt, and I felt pure bliss with my cleaned out insides. I was meeting a friend today in another town. Another reason why I tried really hard to shit last night. I also hate shitting in public. It went great for a while. Me and him went and grabbed some boba, and he offered his to me since he didn't like the flavor. I tried it and it was good. After I drank some more, I asked what flavor he get. He said some coffee flavor. Oh no. I was fine for now and stopped drinking. We walked around for a bit, then headed into a small pizza joint and just talked for a bit, until I felt the familiar rumble. I bolted to the bathroom, but someone was already using it. I fought everything in me to not shit my pants in the middle of this family-owned business. When it was finally my turn, I struggled taking off my belt, but finally. I released the floodgates with such force I think I was blasted up a bit, followed by the loudest earth-quenching fart. Sweat dripped down my forehead while I gripped the railing for the elderly. I was so embarrassed my loud-ass farts could be definitely heard through the thin bathroom walls. When I thought it was finally over, I grabbed some TP, but nothing. I sat on that toilet regretting my life decisions and texting my friend. I begged him to get me some TP. Thanks to my saint of a friend, he went to the front and asked for some. When he came over, the door was obviously locked. This was just a bathroom, not a bunch of stalls. I was on the toilet, the door was a good 5 feet away from me. So I only did what I could do. I got up, and shimmy my poopy booty to the door with my jeans around my ankles. I opened it, grabbed the TP, and felt another rumbled. I slammed the door shut and let out more of my sewer sludge. In my panic, I didn't lock the door. A fucking grandpa opened the door. I felt my face turn all shades of red. I was so mortified I couldn't react and just stared. He stared and shut the door. I wanted to crawl into a hole and never come out. While I finished up, I thanked and asked my friend to stand guard so no more unfortunate souls had to witness the horrors. I used some water from the sink to dampen up the tissue, and got to work. It hurt. My poor butt, thankfully no blood, folded hands. I rushed out of there and begged my friend to leave. I could feel people staring. As we headed out, I noticed the grandpa was about to enter. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure it was just all water. I didn't notice any smell, so grandpa should be fine. I hope. Anyways, that led to an awkward what the fuck was all that conversion to my friend, who just laughed. I told him the whole story, even showed him the Reddit post while we walked as far as we could from that poor pizza shop. The rest of the evening was great. All that was ruined was my pride and dignity. I could never show my face there again. Writing this at 2 a.m. Sorry for grammar. Thank you all for reading, and for all the support on the first post. This will hopefully be the last update. My ass can't take anymore. Small edit for those asking how many chia seeds was too much. 2 cups. Google says around 1.5, 2 teaspoons. I ate 2 cups with a bowl of yogurt. I heard chia seeds were good, and they don't taste bad, so why not eat it? Super high in fiber, seed in high amounts, what could go wrong? Open mouth smile. Moral of the story: have stool softener or a laxative in case of emergencies. If you don't, prune juice or coffee, depending if you just want to poop or shit out water. Drink the coffee, it took like 20 minutes. Prune juice effected around an hour-ish later with a greater force. Or better yet, don't get constipated by eating way over the recommended amount of chia seeds. Look into a bidet, and look up the serving size. Too long, did not read. Released hell in a family-owned pizza shop bathroom, almost shat myself, no toilet paper, and a grandpa walked in. IDK what it is about Reddit, or TIFU, and poop, but they always end up bring the funniest stories. It's just something about people sharing how much they were in agony and the end result of that agony. Hope you feel better now XD. So, the lesson is, prunes are basically nature's laxative. They're super fucking effective. One alone is capable of a lot. Start by eating only 1 or 2. 3 cups of prune juice is like taking a massive gulp of laxative. Coffee causes volatility down there. So, by adding both to constipation, you basically created a biological shit bomb, ready to blow up. God damn sewer sludge. You know it's bad when you experience thrust on the toilet. That friend of yours is a real one. Today I fucked up by losing my best friend because I was too impatient with them. I, 24F, just ruined a 10-year friendship. I have a friend who I have been friends with for a long time. We usually get together to co-write stories together, and this has been long-running and even more consistent during the COVID lockdowns. One thing about my friend is that they have a tendency to keep everything in until they just suddenly bursts out. Along the years, they finally realized that letting it out was better and that I didn't mind at all that they ranted or vented on me. Writing stories became our escape reality. However, they had a breakup with a friend that had her mentally decline. I felt them suddenly clam up and push me away, which usually means that her mental health was declining. But no matter how I asked them, they didn't want to open up. I only knew what was the matter because of another concerned friend who had opened up to me with their concern regarding her and the toxic friend that ended up cutting them off after an argument. Since they didn't want to tell me, I didn't push as when I tried to ask recently, they just clam up even more. Instead, I kept them company as writing stories helped them. But it has taken an emotional toll with me as it's suddenly like talking to a brick wall. When they talk about their interest, I try to keep the conversation going about it since they are the type of person to talk about their interest, but every response to my questions or inquiries is only one-word replies. In the rare instances that I share something like, meme, they just say, okay. And it drove me nuts because it's an endless, okay, right. I tried to patient as this is something that has never happened before and they may be just in a very low mood. But as days rolled on by, it's really taking a toll on me. It became a guessing game if they are in a bad mood or not. They say talking with me helps, but it's like carrying someone who does not want to help themselves. I try to be comforting or carrying on as normal, but it's like they are keeping me within arm's reach but does not want to be alone at the same time. Finally, one day, after putting up with one of their, I want to keep chatting with you but I'll reply in only one-word replies, I just told them that we need to talk sincerely because it's beginning to take a toll on me, something that I wish I could now take back. I told them I'm really trying, but every reply that's only, okay, hurts me. I said I wanted to understand what was going on, and wanted to hear her side of the story because it's not fair if it's only me. They proceeded to apologize. Then suddenly replied to my previous things I have shared, like 12 hours ago, in a desperate attempt to appease me. I repeated that I'm not mad, and I wanted to know about their side, and it's not fair if they are the only ones conforming or adjusting because I want to also meet her needs and meet a middle ground. They didn't reply after that and has not replied to me since. I feel like I overstepped their boundaries. I thought talking about it was a good idea to clean the air and keep things transparent. Too long did not read. I tried to open up something that has been bothering me whenever I talk to my friend. I thought it was better to tell them that their one-word replies bothers me rather than putting a smile on my face and pretending everything was okay when it wasn't. Now I have potentially lost my best friend. Edit. To clarify, yes, the person is an IRL friend, but I had to move away due to circumstances. They've been depressed due to family issues and a breakup with an ex-online friend, another person. Edit 2. Hello everyone. Thank you for the messages and taking your time to read my post. I really do appreciate it. Right now, I've decided to just give them the space they need, and while they do that I'll be self-reflecting on the things that I could have done better for the future. If they are ready to talk, I'll be ready. Edit 3. Many has been asking updates. Here we are. They replied but they just said they didn't want to talk about it and kept giving me replies that is essentially just, okay. I think I might just take a break from them. It's really starting to affect me. As selfish as that sounds. I think you did the right thing. You tried to communicate. Problem is on their end. Not your foo. That's tough. Communication can be tricky sometimes, especially when emotions are involved. Sorry to say, but if telling them how you feel ruins your friendship, then they probably weren't great friends with you in the first place. 100% been you and did same at your age. 12 years later, no regrets. It's just not worth the headache even if they're one of your closest friends. True friends will come back. You did nothing wrong. Today I fucked up offering free hugs to college students. It's come to my attention that depression in college students is at an all-time high in my country. As a college student myself, I can relate. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to step out of my comfort zone and do something to support students who were potentially suffering from depression. I made a sign that said, "Free hugs." Not the most original or groundbreaking plan to defeat depression, I know. But I figured there would at least be 1 or 2 people at my college who would appreciate a hug from a huggable stranger. No one on campus hugged me. No one other than my classmates, which didn't really count in my book because hugs between classmates happened all the time. One of my classmates eventually asked me to create another free hugs sign so that the two of us could team up. His offer was prompted out of pity after he realized that I've been hugless walking around campus with my free hugs sign for several days. As soon as my classmate was with me with his own free hug sign, everything changed. One by one, random huggers gravitated towards my classmate from every corner of the campus. I was practically invisible next to my classmate. Both of us had the same sign and more or less the same huggable energy, but he was showered with affection while I was ignored. Even when 2 huggers approached us at the same time, the other hugger would rather wait until the first hugger was done with my classmate, instead of, hugging me. I knew what was happening though. My classmate was an attractive guy with permanently sad eyes. I've always been aware of my below-average looks, but I've never been in a situation that made it so painfully obvious. Not gonna lie, it was an embarrassing experience and it made me feel ugly and unwanted, which is not how anyone wants to feel, especially someone who wanted to make others feel good about themselves. It's been more or less 2 weeks since all of the above happened and I'm no longer offering free hugs to potentially depressed college students because it almost made me depressed. My classmate, on the other hand, managed to get more than free hugs from a few horny huggers, but he followed my lead and quit too because one of the horny huggers might have given him an STD. TLR made a free hug sign to encourage potentially depressed students at my college to feel free to hug me. Depression in college students is on the rise in my country and I thought a random act of kindness might help in some way, albeit a small act. No one hugged me. However, everyone flocked to hug my attractive classmate when he decided to team up with me out of pity. My attempt to alleviate depression ended up making me feel ugly and unwanted, and dare I say, almost depressed myself. The irony. Because one of the horny huggers might have given him an STD. He got an STD from a hug? GIF. Giphy, XT1XGGT59QHMAZXZRW, downsized. Ironic as hell, sorry that happened to you. I always assumed the free hugs people were pickpockets or had a communicable disease. I remember seeing these people multiplying during the corona crisis in order to spread it. Next time find someone ugly you know and ask them to do free hugs with you. Zany face. Today I fucked up by telling my friend I have feelings for her. My friend, 28 female, and I, 29 male, met about 10 years ago from a mutual friend's party. At the time she had a boyfriend and I was just starting a relationship. Somehow that night we met, we clicked right away and we formed a very good friendship. We would communicate often and would get together with our partners. I can say we've gotten pretty close through the years. During these 10 years we've been friends, we both have been through a few relationships and we've always been there to console one another when things didn't work out for each other. I split from my last girlfriend about a year ago and my friend had also just had a breakup possibly a couple weeks before that. This past year we have spent so much more time together than we've ever had before, working out together, breakfast, lunch, dinners, going out for drinks or movies, weekend getaways, etc. I never considered making a move since I truly enjoy the friendship we have, nor has she ever given me any signs of wanting to make a move. In the past she made a comment when I was going through one of my breakups about how I deserved someone better than the girl I was dating at the time and also said that she wouldn't date me because she wasn't good enough for me either. A few months ago we were discussing future plans and what we are looking for in a partner and we both basically said the same thing we're looking for and she jokingly said, "We're probably soulmates and we don't know it." In the past 2 months the idea of us being more than friends has crossed my mind so often that I've been contemplating telling her about it. Last month she invited me as her +1 at one of her work events in New York which took place 2 weeks ago. I decided to tell her what I was feeling when we were on our walk back to the hotel after an event. She told me that although we have such a great friendship and she believes we would give it our best to make it the best relationship, she only sees me as a friend and she doesn't want anything more than that. I told her I respected her decision and hoped that this wouldn't change things between us. I made sure not to act weird or different the rest of the trip and kept things as they were even though I was disappointed and ashamed inside. We returned back to our city earlier in the week and honestly we have not communicated much at all. I'm starting to think making my confession was a mistake and I wish I could take that moment back. I fear that I may have possibly pushed a great friend away. Too long did not read. I told my friend of 10 years I have feelings for her and she said no. Now we haven't talked in a few days and I'm regretting having told her how I felt. That's rough, man, but you shot your shot. Time to move on. Your friendship will most likely recover, but it'll take time. The gym welcomes you, brother. I was in your shoes once. Eventually we became friends again and we both found our own partners. It stings and it's so hard, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Give both of you time. Are you still willing to be friends? If so, give her a bit of time and make sure she knows, and you mean you want to remain friends and you won't make any moves. Shooting your shot is never a fuck-up. She is probably taking some time to be distant to help emphasize what she said to you. Many men will just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, or become angry and even threatening. She may be worried that that will happen with you. If the lack of communication goes on for weeks, you might send a short message, to the point, that you meant it when you said you want to remain platonic and only platonic friends. You value her friendship, and let you know if or when she is ready to pick the friendship back up.